this series, and it's about continuous series, which is this is about Johnny Carson and my meeting Johnny Carson and my introduction to Hollywood and my beginning in Hollywood with everything to do with Hollywood movie studios and the entertainment industry. So how did I meet Johnny Carson? Well, first of all, I'd watched Johnny Carson as a young child growing up and watching him on black and white television. And many years I watched The Tonight Show that he was the star of and host of. And little did I ever dream and know that one day in the future I would actually meet Johnny Carson, the real Johnny Carson, face to face. And it was quite an exhilarating experience meeting him. And I still remember what it was like because my first wife, Diana Spencer, Norton, well, it would become Norton, but my then friend, Diana Spencer, Princess Diana, was the one who formally introduced me to Johnny Carson. We were at a party in New York City, and I'd met her there, and we were playing a bunch of friends, and she pulled me over and said, "Hey, I want you to get to know somebody." And when I walked over, it hit me really big. And she said, "Yeah, that's right, you got it. It's Johnny Carson." And he stood there with a big smile, and he stuck out his hand and said, "Hi, I'm Johnny. It's nice to meet you. And what's your name?" I said, "I'm John," and was my last name. He's like, "It's really great to meet you, and your female friend has been very enthusiastic about telling me all about you and how wonderful a man you are." And that was how I first met Johnny Carson in New York City. And throughout the decades of knowing Johnny, and of course the death of my first wife, who I'd eventually be married to, which is Diana Spencer. Johnny is always there for me, and he began to open the door to Hollywood stars and to Hollywood studios. And he gave them big references about me, and they began to talk to me and want to have me in their movies and want me to be part of the Screen Actors Guild and SAG, and which I became because of Johnny. I became part of the SAG, and he introduced me to the people who were the directors of the Academy Awards and the Oscars, the Academy Award Foundation, the Oscar Foundation, and to major people, older stars who had made their mark in Hollywood, and most of them with their name and face etched on Hollywood Walk of Fame. And so this is because of Johnny Carson, I met his best friend, actually, Ed MacMahon, and continued a friendship with Ed MacMahon for until he died in this decade, which is the 2000s. I also continued a friendship with Johnny Carson in the same way, and with Johnny Carson's family, and also with Ed MacMahon's family, who is mostly deceased at this point. Anyway, because of Johnny and eventually being friends with Ed MacMahon, Hollywood, the door of Hollywood opened fully to anything I wanted to do. With movie directors like Woody Allen, because I did stuff with Woody Allen and Mia Farrow, and many directors who otherwise would have turned their back completely, openly, graciously embraced me. And so did Universal Pictures, Paramount Pictures, Sony and Viacom, and other big-time Hollywood movie studios totally embrace me and want me to be involved in their productions and their works of entertainment that would normally have just completely turned their back to someone who is totally unknown to them as far as the entertainment industry. So a lifetime of being with Johnny is an interesting thing, because he's a man that I got to know very well, and he even invited me several times to be on camera on the Tonight Show and be a guest on the Tonight Show. I declined to do that, but I did sit in the front row several times in CBS studio in New York when he would host it there. Of course, he also did host it in Los Angeles too. He had two studios which he worked from, and so it progressed to being my second wife, Maria. Excuse me, Princess Maria Grimaldi, Princess Maria Grimaldi of Monaco, whom I eventually married also, and continued a friendship with her and I, and Johnny Carson, and Ed MacMahon, and some of Johnny's friends, and the close people of Johnny's friends who were also Hollywood icons in big-time movie actors and actresses in Hollywood. So it was very exhilarating time in my life, being involved with two who really just helped me to fulfill some dreams that I wanted to achieve with Hollywood, and there still are some dreams and goals with Hollywood I still have not achieved yet that I'd love to do. But it was very difficult at the end to have Johnny's daughter and Ed MacMahon call me, and both on the phone at the same time, speakerphone, and say, well, we have bad news to tell you. Johnny died on a yacht today. We went on a yacht to talk to him. He'd not answered the phone for 2 days, and found him dead on the floor. This was an end of a lifetime friendship, which was very difficult to deal with. And then subsequently after that, the death of Ed MacMahon was also very difficult to deal with. And it was Johnny's daughter that broke the news to me on a private phone call. So this is a little bit about Johnny Carson, and also a little bit about Ed MacMahon, friendship with both people that helped get into Hollywood.